A lot of people fail to look past the Aaron Rodgers of it all when it comes to the Nathaniel Hackett hire as an offensive coordinator and can't seem to wrap their head around it. So today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you should be excited about Nathaniel Hackett that aren't because of the Aaron Rodgers trades. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and like I said, we're going to go over why you should be excited about Nathaniel Hackett as our offensive coordinator, even if we don't end up getting Aaron Rodgers. Let me start by being very clear. I would love Aaron Rodgers on this football team. He has become my number one off-season target when it comes to the quarterback position. He gives us a ton of flexibility. He immediately elevates the room. He would be a great mentor for Zach Wilson. And honestly, if Aaron Rodgers came to the AFC with the New York Jets, not only do I think we become the favorites to win the AFC East, we should become one of the favorites to make it to the bowl with Aaron Rodgers under center. So let me start by saying that. I'm not saying I don't want Aaron Rodgers, but I wanted Nathaniel Hackett before I wanted Rodgers. Before the rumors and before the information came that Rodgers might become available, I wanted Nathaniel Hackett. And here are the 5 reasons why I think you should be happy that he's here. Number 1, West Coast system and the same playbook. We know that the failures of Mike LaFleur came not because of his play call, not because of the schemes or the plays, but the play calling. And we know that Nathaniel Hackett, when he was in Green Bay, ran a very, very effective red zone system because that's what he was in charge of. Matt LaFleur called all of the plays, but he was in charge of the red zone, and they were incredibly efficient in the red zone. One area where we struggled with. And by running the West Coast system, the same system that we ran before, all of the terminology, all of the phrasing, all of the words, all of the verbiage, all of the plays are going to look very similar. So all that time that these guys who have been in our system for a couple of years or are rookies or anything like that aren't going to have to go out and learn a whole new playbook, a whole new scheme, a whole new everything. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that Nathaniel Hackett has showed us that not only can he coach up and help elite quarterbacks become even more elite, like what he did in Green Bay, and helping and being a part of the team that helped Aaron Rodgers get 2 back-to-back MVPs, but he also can do that with below average quarterback play. In the worst case scenario where we can't go out and get Jimmy G, Derek Carr, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, whatever those top guys are, and we end up with a Baker Mayfield, a Gardner Minshew, insert other below average quarterback here. And that's what we have to go. And we go into next year with a 3-way competition with Zach Wilson, probably bring back Mike White at that point, and Gardner Minshew. He's shown that he can get below average quarterbacks playing at a good enough level to win football games and still make the playoffs. If you look back at his time in Jacksonville, he had Blake Bortles looking like an NFL level quarterback. And when they separated and they were no longer working with each other, Blake Bortles fell off of a cliff and just faded off into the nothingness that is the NFL quarterback position. So we should feel confident that no matter who's under center next year, we'll be okay because Nathaniel Hackett has shown that he can do that. Number 3, the changing in philosophy in our West Coast system. We all knew that Mike LaFleur under the West Coast system was a pass-first guy. We saw that on the stat sheets when we were throwing 50, 60 times a game and running the ball 15 to 20 times a game, even though we had the likes of Breece Hall and Michael Carter and Ty Johnson and Bam Knight and trading for James Robinson. He wasn't utilizing those guys because he couldn't understand and get the run game going. He was a pass-first guy. We saw that from his pass game coordinator background in San Francisco. Nathaniel Hackett is the exact opposite. Not only is he a run-first offensive coordinator, he also brought in a big name, Keith Carter. I made a video on him. If you want to watch that, it'll be up here somewhere. He was able to manufacture insanely lethal running systems in Jacksonville when calling the plays. He had a top 3 rushing attack and a top 5 offense based off of the back of their run game. And with our running back room being lethal and the way that it is, he's only going to get better long term in the run game, and that's going to help our quarterbacks develop. That's going to help our wide receivers get open more because you're not going to be able to just sell out on the pass or sell out on stopping the run. You're going to have to worry about every aspect of our team because that's what's going to happen. The next thing and the other reason that you should be excited about Nathaniel Hackett is that more and more and more and more news keeps coming out of Denver, that Denver is an absolute dumpster fire from the top down, and that the failures in Denver aren't necessarily his fault. It's starting to come out more and more that coaching candidates aren't willing to go to Denver to work, one, with Russell Wilson, but two, with that front office and to deal with those kinds of mismanagement that's coming from top to bottom. It's starting to put an asterisk on his time in Denver as a head coach and the failures that he had in Denver, which is good because that should have been a big worry. But last but not least, the final reason you should be excited about Nathaniel Hackett is that he did not have to coach this year. He could have taken the next 4 years off and gotten paid to sit on some beach somewhere and not coach football. And most of the time, if you look at a coach that was a head coach, got fired, and the very same year he got fired, became a coordinator for a different team, if it didn't work out, struggles mightily to get back into the NFL. Jay Gruden was a great example of that. Gets fired from the Commanders, goes and becomes an OC, fails miserably. Boom. He hasn't been back in the NFL since. This coming to New York as an offensive coordinator in a position where we don't have a quarterback was a massive risk for his long-term career. But one, this showed that he believed in our roster. He believes in himself, and he knows that he's going to be able to get production from the guys that we have in the building. Guys, there are a lot of reasons to be excited for this upcoming year outside of the possibility that Nathaniel Hackett might be able to lure Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr or whoever it is to come here. Nathaniel Hackett is a good offensive coordinator, and I can't wait to see what he does on the field next season. Let me know what you think about my 5 reasons you should be excited about Nathaniel Hackett, and go Jets.